You are smart. They are smart. When the next batch comes, they will be not smart. Very good. Yeah, Shankar will go down.
कोई बात नहीं, हम तो खड़े हो रहे हैं।
अब तो कह नहीं सकते हैं।
By farm with a best.
कौन से वाले हैं इसमें?
For us through your unique engagement with the institutes of higher learning, never heard before in the system of India for us. We are blessed to receive your deep insights that have enabled us to identify new directions, that have helped stretch our imaginations and propel our efforts towards achieving and maintaining excellence. Your constant presence with us is the illuminated shelter that showers in the light and protects us from the storms. Today is another landmarking day where you have given all of us the opportunity to share with you our experiences on the extremely relevant topic of youth and nation building. Our nation, which is in a sense the youngest in the world, needs to properly nurture the remarkable talent that is available across the length and breadth of the country, which is capable of not only transforming the country but leading the world. This potential needs to be translated into reality, and it is our responsibility in the academia to help our youth attain their true potential. For this today, sir, we seek your guidance. Thousands of students and young officers from hundreds of institutions participating in this conference are eagerly waiting to receive your message and directions. We are also delighted to know that you are very interested to hear from us the various experiences that our young students and probationary officers have had in contributing to nation development. 10 young men and women from various institutions across the country will share their accounts with you. We hope that this will give you a first-hand feeling of what the youth can achieve for our beloved country. We will then wait to hear from you your remarks on the way forward for us. I personally thank you on my behalf and on behalf of my institution to have so aptly chosen IIT Kharagpur, the first IIT which was built on the platform of freedom struggle, which, as our first Prime Minister Pandit Nehru said, represents India's urges and India's future in the making. We now therefore request you, sir, to give a welcome address, and I will now invite after your address the speakers for a discussion.
Directors of IITs, NITs, IISERs, and other institutes of higher learning and civil service academies, faculty members, my dear students, I wish you all a very happy and prosperous New Year. Let 2016 be a year of achievement and fulfillment for each one of you. India is a nation with a significant young population. Over 600 million people in our country are below the age of 25 years. The National Youth Policy defines youth as those persons who are in the age group of 15 to 29 years. I am, however, not subscribing to any technical definition here. For me, youth is much more than mere age. I place my faith in those who are curious and keen to learn, who are impatient and adventurous, who have boundless energy and drive, who accept the permanence of change and are ever ready to question the status quo, and who have the potential to create and harness disruptive technologies for rapid growth. Investment in education, particularly of the youth, in the sharpening of their mental faculties, technical skills, professional competence, and awareness about their social responsibilities would be the key to prepare them for nation building. The way we nurture our youth into confident, capable, and committed citizens will determine our country's future. I have therefore chosen to speak to you today on youth and nation building, a subject close to my heart. Friends, when we talk of nation building, the first thing we have to think of is what kind of nation we want to build. A blueprint for that cannot be some random sketch, but a grand design based on values, hopes, and aspirations of the people of the nation. On 26 January 1950, we laid a strong foundation by giving ourselves the Constitution of India. It was the Magna Carta of socio-economic transformation for building an inclusive and modern India. We promised ourselves to secure to all the citizens of this sovereign nation justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. The core principles of democracy, secularism, gender equality, and socio-economic equity became the beacon of our journey forward. Instant communication has led to greater awareness and raised expectations. Consumerism is at its peak. Medical sciences have raised the life expectancy, and through better health care, improved the quality of life. Disruptive technologies have become the rule rather than exception, putting strain on adaptive capacity of individuals and systems. Second, it must teach them to understand life through a study of history, science, religion, and philosophy. And third, it must teach them to enjoy their lives through friendship and relationships, observance of nature.
Sir, it is my privilege to share with you 10 young men and women's experiences on their path to nation development, which will help give you a glimpse of something which the academies and the higher educational institutions are trying for this country. First, I will invite Sri sh.Pranab Singh, a student of the Indian Institute of Technology, Gandhinagar.
Honorable President, it is with extreme elation I shift before you my experience on youth and nation building. Sir, to prepare the nuances of development which is essential for the building of the nation, the youth in India must be precisely aware of the term development as a concept. Apart from understanding the technological and scientific significance of the term development, it is necessary for the youth in India to adopt a holistic approach and reflect on the socio-economic as well as the political aspect of the term. Keeping this perspective in mind, for the youth to broaden their thinking capacity, we at IIT Gandhinagar, as a part of the course curriculum, undergo around 20% of the coursework in humanities and social science. Sir, we need to understand the importance of social policies and technological advancement, which is why I think there is a prerequisite to motivate youth in engineering streams to pursue both technical as well as courses with social and literary implications. At a time, sir, when the world is infested with an aspiration to become smarter in both virtual and real settings, it is the responsibility of our nation to embed the roots and traditions of the Indian knowledge systems. This will allow us to leverage this technological progress for social innovation and advancement. Sir, to
be used for building our nation in the 21st century. The central purpose for advocating youth leadership is to support the youth to engage in innovative activities for ensuring a modern, self-reliant India in its true sense. For this, the young minds of our country need to come together to work as a team with utmost dedication for solving the global challenges faced by our nation and society. I urge all my friends to give research a chance in India. The research that should give practical, creative and innovative solutions for
education and research, NIPA Hyderabad, on this topic, youth and nation building. I would like to start off with an instructive quote. It is really surprising how much the youth can do when they want to and how much they can't when they don't want to. Youth forms a major dynamic segment of our nation. Their energies, resourcefulness, character and orientation, they define the pace of development as well as the security of our nation. I am privileged to be a part of that nation which enjoys the world's largest youth population.
In nation building process, the youth should collectively create an identity for the nation and undertake efforts for the unification of the citizens. The thrust should be on building human capacity for a happy and fulfilling life. For this,
when we look around in the country today, we see a multitude of ubiquitous, young and cheerful faces. These youthful souls are not mere dreamers, but achievers, adventurers, and ambitious like never before. This is the 800 million strong community of our citizens below the age of 35. The power of this youth to transform the society and build the nation to glory lies in its tremendous energy and the impressionable nature of their minds. Their receptive intellect can be molded as per the demands and needs of the time. In a nutshell, the younger the mind, greater is the impact.
To share my views on youth and nation building. As myself as a youth, my ideas and experience will be of great help. Youth represent the most dynamic segment of the population, the future of our nation. With about 65% of India's population falling below 35 years of age, India is among the youngest nation of the world. This is what to harness, to develop, to manufacture, to innovate.
I worked as a Prime Minister's Rural Development Fellow in rural Chhattisgarh. The main challenge was to ensure sustainable development while preventing the youth from veering towards left-wing extremist ideology. Realizing that by developing skills and by providing viable livelihood opportunities to the tribal youth, the menace of left-wing extremism can be tackled. The government of Chhattisgarh has instituted Right to Skill under rights-based approach and
with the benefits of demographic dividend on our side, India has an incredible opportunity to tap the young and dynamic human resources for nation building. In my journey of becoming part of the IPS fraternity, I have come across youth from different socio-economic backgrounds with the common aim of seeing India develop and prosper. We all are extremely excited about working at the grassroots levels in different parts of the country and being part of the Indian Police Service. Policing is one of the areas where active involvement of public in day-to-day affairs helps make the system more efficient. Community policing has been a focus area of the Indian police, and the technological connectivity of today's youth can add new dimensions to the public-police interaction.
And participants present in this conference. For me, the role of youth in nation building includes two ideas: achieving professional excellence and fulfilling aspirations of citizens for development. During my previous career, comprising engineering, MBA, and a job in the corporate sector, I wanted to contribute to the nation by creating wealth. Later, I realized the importance of reaching out to the public at large. This
Delhi.
Honorable President Sir and all participants of the conference, a very good afternoon to all of you. On behalf of Indian Information Service, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, and Indian Institute of Mass Communication, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude for providing us with this wonderful opportunity. Sir, I would like to bring to your kind attention that we have about 21 development journalist professionals from 13 countries and students of mass communication attending this conference. Sir, as part of our induction training, we had a lecture series on Naxalism, and the main theme that came out of it was development, and development alone is the path to bring the misguided youth of a nation to the mainstream. This idea was further cemented as we had the first-hand experience of visiting an erstwhile Naxal-affected area of Lalgarh in West Midnapur district, as well as our forays into northeast of India. Schemes like Rural Livelihood College in Bastar, youth development through sports in northeast, and proactive participation of youth in decision-making and implementation in West Midnapur has been instrumental in bringing about a change in these areas. Sir, these schemes are shining examples that can be emulated elsewhere. For any process of development to even take shape, good communication channels are absolutely imperative. Any slight miscommunication or even a disconnect between the youth and the mass would bring about an impediment to the entire process. And that is where the role of communicators becomes very important. So, this room is filled with the future communicators of our nation, from young, bright Indian Information Service officers to energetic, budding journalists to aspiring media professionals. Young communicators with a mandate to bring the dreams, aspirations, and desires of millions of young people to the forefront. Young communicators with a mandate to create an informed citizenry and empowering and ensuring that the youth will participate in the task of nation building. So that is what our responsibility is. Responsibility to be truthful, to be honest, to be transparent and service oriented. And together, I'm sure we can all work together to making our great nation help achieve the ideals of the Constitution of India. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Anish. Sir, you must have now got from 10 short glimpses what the 600 million people under 25 that you just mentioned look forward. We therefore look forward to you for your guidance on how to take the path forward. I will therefore request you, sir, to give your observations and concluding remarks which we can take forth in our journey forward.
Thank you, Director, IIT Kharagpur. I first express my deep appreciation to all young participants, numbering 10, who have made their very interesting and enlightening observations, how they look at nation building, creating a nation out of the kernel of the oldest civilization of the world. The first point which I entirely agree which has emerged from some observers that we must have the leadership of the youth. Yes. That is one of the most important factors in building up the nation. And youth provide leadership always. They are the harbinger of the changes. All revolutions which brought mammoth changes in the world, revolution in a system, revolution in the thought process, revolution in the way of life, youth are the harbinger of bringing those changes. I'll just give you a small example from our contemporary history. Before the birth of the Indian National Congress, which was considered, it was conceptualized by a couple of British administrators and policymakers who were responsible for Indian administration. One of them was Octavius Hume. Before he launched his program, the formation of the Indian National Congress, he wrote a letter to 50 graduates, young graduates of Calcutta University in those days, in 82-83. And there he mentioned exactly the point which some of you have tried to drive at, that leadership of the young generation, youth are needed to bring any change in the status quo. Therefore, there is no two opinion on it that you are to provide the leadership. I am happy that some of the professional and academies of training of the officers have participated. Forest Academy of Dehradun, Police Academy of Hyderabad, Nagpur Institute of Direct Taxes, and Institute of Mass Communication. In fact, you are chosen by the nation as the leaders. You get tremendous opportunity as young civil servants, whether in the administrative cadre, whether in the police cadre, whether in the revenue cadre, when the responsibility of communicating, you are the leaders. The amount of responsibility you are to discharge on your young soldiers in any other system or organization, you will find that much more years are needed to have the level of the responsibility where the young civil servants and after the completion of probation, when they enter into their respective jobs, they enter into. So there is a system. We shall have to nurture it. The third point on which you have emphasized is true to the core, that technology. Technology brought the changes everywhere. All major changes in the world, in different walks of life, have been brought by the technology. Sometimes I wondered as a student of history that how is it? Only with 12,000 soldiers coming from abroad, in 1526 Babur could capture India and establish the rule of almost 300 years of the Mughals in a vast land like India. Answer lies in the technology. Because he knew, he had the technology, his soldiers had the technology to use firearms, which Indian soldiers did not have. They fought with their old bows and arrows, swords, years, etc. gun. These weapons are ineffective and useless. Examples could be multiplied, but the simple point is that we must emphasize on technology. And as I am emphasizing on improvement of quality in education, particularly the higher technological, higher educations, institutes of higher learning, I am equally emphasizing on giving more and more emphasis on research, on innovation. And I am suggesting that each institute of national importance, not in the technical term, but in its scope of functioning and its own dimension, each of them should be the nucleus, should be the incubation center, should be the organic link between local innovators, innovation, research, and also close link with industry. Because mere for academic purpose, research is not adequate. It must be made marketable. And there comes the role of the industry. I would like to tell you another story, very interesting, of your interacting, responding to some of the suggestions and questions which I posed. I wish to have such interactions more frequently. And once again I assure you, as per the practice, this is my interaction with you at the beginning of the year. At the beginning of the academic session, I would like to have another interaction with you. Thank you. Let the new year be really meaningful to you. Let it be the year of achievement. Let it be the year of fulfillment. Somebody has commented that not only dreamer but achiever. Before becoming achiever, you must also have the dream. You must also have the vision, and you must have 3 C's: commitment, confidence, and character. If you have that, nothing can prevent you. You will move onwards. Whole world belongs to you. Thank you, my young friends. Thank you, Vice Chancellors, Directors, and other senior administrators of the central universities, IITs, NITs, and other institutes of higher learning. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, sir, not only for sharing your views, but giving all of us an opportunity to give our thoughts which you have listened so intently. It is now my pleasure to invite my colleague, Professor Jawaharlal Kaul, Vice Chancellor, HMB Garhwal University, to give a vote of thanks to you.
Thank you, Professor Partha. Honorable President, sir, it's my proud privilege and honor to present vote of thanks. But before I do so, let me wish you a very happy New Year and greetings from students, faculty and staff of HMB Garhwal University, is located in Victor C, Himalaya. Sir, on behalf of the students, faculty and staff of central universities, other academic institutions of higher learning, civil services academies, and on behalf of all of us present here, I express our profound gratitude and sincere thanks to your good self for sparing your valuable time with us. We are fortunate to have a humble president like you, who is an epitome of humility and humanism, and who believes in direct connect with people. Our interaction, sir, with you at Rashtrapati Bhavan at various occasions reflects that, as much as it reflects challenges and vision for higher education in India. Indeed, sir, we always look forward for an opportunity for such inspirational interactions with you. Thank you for your time, wise words, and benevolence. Sir, I believe today's lecture on youth and nation building symbolizes the roadmap for dynamic growth which our youth can play in the economic and social development of our country. As you have rightly said, that India is the only country having the largest young population. They are the future leaders and entrepreneurs of our country. Simultaneously, higher education sector has seen a phenomenal expansion since our independence. You have very rightly remarked that the creation of human resource pool has become a critical focus area in our socio-economic agenda. Also, we cannot afford to produce workers and professionals who fail to meet the skill required by a growing economic system. To garner this resource pool, sir, we need an educational system which is qualitative, innovative and skill-oriented. You have very rightly remarked, sir, on various occasions that society can improve and excel only through excellence in education. As highlighted in your address today, a highly proficient and robust educational system would enable our youth for a better living and an appropriate place in global society as well. As remarked by Malcolm X, I quote, sir, education is our passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today. Indeed, poor education will lead to downfall of the people. Thank you very much, sir, for your inspiring lecture. I am sure that your wise words and counsel will motivate a huge generation of our youth to be dynamic, constructive and highly visible in our economic and social progress. Sir, as visitor of central universities and other institutes of higher learning, you have provided a sagacious leadership and a dynamic vision to higher education and learning in India. You have also embarked upon newer programs of inclusiveness, mobility and creative pursuits. You have all along held a belief that education, and particularly higher education, is a construct for future growth and progress of our country as well as for social transformation. Consequently, these institutes have to embark upon robust programs which will meet the aspirations of a large body of students and stakeholders. Indeed, sir, today's address will go a long way in inspiring all of us to work towards that goal. Sir, we have also at many occasions expressed your concern with higher education. I quote, the quality of education has a direct correlation with inclusive growth and development. Emerging economies facing the challenge of meeting developmental aspirations of their citizens must build an education system comparable to the best in the world. A serious discourse on how to address the quality concerns in higher education should therefore begin at the earliest, unquote. Sir, we would like to reassure you that under your dynamic leadership and your vision for India's future educational system, we will do our best to make our education system a symbol of excellence, inclusiveness and innovative one. With these words, I would like to thank you on behalf of all of us for your time, wise words and counsel. Thank you very much, sir. I would also like to thank Sri Umita Paul, Shri Suresh Yadav and officers and staff of Rashtrapati Bhavan for their untiring efforts in making this program a success. They have all along looked after us very well while at Rashtrapati Bhavan. Thanks very much to them also. Thanks are also due to Professor S.V. Raghavan of National Knowledge Network and all the members of NIC video conferencing team for their wonderful work. We appreciate and put on record our gratitude to all of them. Thank you one and all. Jai Hind. Ladies and gentlemen, may I request you all to rise for the national anthem.